Let me just have a little sip of my tea.
Yeah?
Every episode starts with the same thing.
Oh, shit.
How am I supposed to tell if I've moved on to the next one?
You don't.
We don't have a theme song, guys, sorry. So for the rest of time now, I just have to take a sip from my tea, which, as it turns out, has fake milk in it.
It's dog's milk, you know.
Oh, is it dog's milk?
Yeah.
But,
I'm so rough.
Why are you rough?
Why? Because I did that drinking challenge yesterday.
What drinking challenge?
So...
Is that where you just sit in your room and you're like...
it's where I try and make it through old home videos.
Oh, right, okay.
And I drink...
Without the video player?
Yeah. I helped out...
Well, goddamn, go on my PS4! These things are supposed to be able to play things from previous consoles.
I mean, going back to Red Dwarf, isn't it? It's like, oh, look at this! Modern technology. Yeah, I helped out on a friend's video.
Oh, yeah?
He does Dragon Ball reviews. He reviews all of the episodes for the new series that's been running.
Oh, okay.
And in the series, there's 12 gods of destruction for all the different universes. And they're all named from different alcohols across the world.
Oh, really?
So he got all of the alcohols in and we tried all of the alcohols for the gods, so it's called the God's Drinking Challenge.
Fair enough. Well, that sounds quite fun, to be fair.
It was until the fourth one, which was tequila. And then we still had another 8 to go.
Why did you do it in that order, then?
We did it universes 1 to 12.
Oh, okay. And universe 4 is tequila.
Yeah.
That's poor planning.
It's really bad, because it's stuff like you're drinking beer before liqueur and stuff, which you're not supposed to do.
I'm sorry, drinking beer before...
Liquor?
Liqueur.
But yeah, it was good fun.
Was it?
Yeah, I tried lots of different alcohol that I've never tried before.
Anything you'd recommend?
Yeah,
tequila,
but I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Cassius Orange is still good.
What's that?
It's something I tried when I was in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You went to Japan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For how long?
Oh, about 6 months.
Oh, how long's a flight?
Yeah, it's about 18 hours in total.
Oh, okay. But that's not in one go, so why is that split up?
So it was about 5 hours between Japan and Hong Kong.
Okay, which is odd to do it that way round, because you would have thought it'd be like, well, it's 14 hours to go from London to Hong Kong. You'd be like, that's the way you would tell it. Rather than going, I went from Hong Kong to Japan, and then the flight from London to Hong Kong.
I mean, that's the last way I flew, so I came back.
Anyway.
I drank a lot of things.
There was obviously like beers, liquors, and all that sort of stuff. Was there anything like... something like brand? Because I mean, like, for me, the first time I tried Bailey's, I had no idea what it was.
I really can't... we tried a Lebanese drink called arak.
Oh, yeah.
Which is overpoweringly aniseedy.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't...
How far into it was that one?
The...
penultimate?
No. 5th, maybe?
Oh,
7th?
so that was after the tequila.
It's either the 5th or like the 8th universe. I forget.
Okay, jeez.
Yeah.
So they're actually named after alcohols in the show.
In the show.
Are they did that on purpose?
Yeah.
To make people do this thing.
No.
Okay. Because it sounds like a huge sponsorship deal.
All like the characters and stuff are named after
this
fruits
is
and vegetables.
all sourceable in England.
Yes. The Lebanese drink was a bit of...
You were in London, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess in
there's
London
lots of, like,
you can get
different little emporiums and things you can go to. No, it was the arak that was really difficult to get hold of.
Okay. I mean, most of it's on Amazon anyway, isn't it?
Which is where we got it.
Fair enough. Prime?
Probably, yeah.
I feel like I now have to say that other sites and services are available, because we're not sponsored by Amazon, so I can't say that.
Tesco's
do deliver, not next day. Argos deliver the same day.
Oh, really?
So,
if it's in store, which it never is.
True, and half the time I just like leaving the house.
Fair enough. And on that note, because you have left the house to come to this house...
Yes, this, regular room.
Yes. Welcome to episode 2 of Folking Around.
Oh, yeah. Boy.
My name is Chris, and joined with me, as always, is...
Ben, because I'm the only person you know.
Yeah. I should try and work on that.
That's sad for both of us, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Less so for me.
Oh.
We're
drinking around? After that small little...
What you just did was... Well, you wasn't drinking... I suppose you were drinking around the Dragon Balls.
Yeah?
Universes.
Drinking around the universes.
Drinking around the Dragon Balls sounds weird.
Welcome to drinking around.
I mean,
verses.
Not that. You did that. I'm
I
not
did
doing
that.
that. I'm drinking my tea with the obviously fake milk.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It's going to get to the point where I'm going to bring my own. Or I could just drink water or something, but it's quite cold out, so I wanted a warm drink.
Yeah.
And I am sweaty as.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
I've just come back from the gym.
That's where you say no,
and
you leave them all hanging.
Oh, okay, do it again.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
Yeah, I've just been to the gym.
Oh.
I'm not doing this right, am I?
No. Yeah, welcome to episode 2, Folking Around.
Continuity at its best.
Yes.
Because, I don't mean continuity. Continuations?
Continuations?
We've not done 2 in a row before.
No.
Whatever I'm trying to say, I'm really happy that we're on board because we left last episode with me going, I hope this goes out and I hope Chris gets his arse into gear with editing. And it has been a long week for you editing.
It's been a very long week.
As it turns out, I'm very difficult to edit.
Yes, you are.
So we've set ourselves a time limit this time.
Yeah.
I actually have to leave at a certain time, and if we don't get it done, we should.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's early days.
It is early days.
But, you don't get to rule the universe in just a couple of days. Think how long it took Pinky and the Brain together.
Oh, I thought you were going with a Thanos reference there.
Oh no, who's that?
He's the Kryptonian.
The Kryptonian?
Yeah, he came to Earth.
Sorry, you're going to have to elaborate what Kryptonian means.
Oh, it means that he comes from this special planet in space.
Kryptonia?
Yeah.
Cool.
He gets stranded on Earth because his family leave him there.
Oh, okay.
And he basically gets adopted by a couple of kids.
Does it turn out that he's got like a lot of power that he doesn't quite sure he had, but he sort of like uncovers the fact that he's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
And then starts to use it for good?
No, he doesn't use it for good.
Oh, doesn't he?
Well, he thinks he's doing good, but he's a little bit
bad at it.
Yeah, so people think that he's a
Is there a
bad
lot
guy.
of collateral damage?
There's some collateral damage, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I imagine then in order to stop this person, there must be some sort of other person to stop him. Someone who's also some sort of, I guess you could say, Superman?
You'd think so. It's a lot more simple than that.
Oh, is it? How do they stop him?
Oh, he's just casually sort of going down the street and someone trips him up and he just breaks his face.
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
Breaks his face on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming it's in America, because they always are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
just breaks his face.
So that's just it. So it just ends there.
Yeah.
So it's a real quick...
The guy doesn't even blink. He doesn't stop. He just carries on going.
So sorry, is this like a comic book, or is this a film or a TV series? 'Cause I imagine a TV series would be very short.
Yeah. They wanted to make a TV adaptation, but it ended up being a movie. It's a comic book from the 1800s. Oddly enough.
Shitting hell, man!
Yeah.
Before the printing press was even invented. Before the concept of coming down from space was even invented.
Yeah.
Before the moon was invented.
One of the greatest inventions ever, the moon.
The moon. Well, but before then, the water just did what it wanted.
Of course.
And werewolves just roamed the earth.
As normal people.
I guess so.
So yeah, this week we're going to be going through 2017 in review. Because obviously I wasn't with you for the latter end.
No, because you went to Japan, didn't you?
I did go, yeah.
Yeah. How long was the flight? We're not doing this again.
So I was away for the latter end. So we've not actually had a proper catch up on the movies of last year.
Not really. We kind of had a few of the ones that we kind of discussed last time round.
Yes.
Where we kind of we just picked a couple of films and then we reviewed them to each other.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a little catch up. I mean, because you were gone for what, September
through to March. So I've also missed.
So you've missed a lot. You missed a lot of
Well, it's the holiday season. I missed.
You missed the key aspects. I mean, obviously we had Star Wars, which you and I were both really looking forward to.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. There's only really been one film released, hasn't there?
I
mean, I've just got Star Wars written 6 times.
We didn't see Ragnarok together. Justice League.
Didn't see Ragnarok or Justice League. No, but
So
people know what we think of Justice League.
Not yet. They
don't know yet.
No, not yet.
So that is out of continuity.
And they also don't, because we don't say anything in that.
No,
but still working on that video.
Okay, wicked. That's something to look forward to. You might not enjoy it, but we really enjoyed making it.
So I hope you get some enjoyment.
And if you can somehow edit the film so that it lasts as long as we made it, because it's not just a continuous run, is it?
It's not, no. As I said, it starts about the One Woman Island, so...
The One Woman Island.
The Wonder Woman Island.
I thought you said one woman.
One Woman Island. No.
I'm trying to think where that would be in the world. I mean, it's Tracy Island, I guess, isn't it? Because they only had one woman.
Maybe.
Tracy
can be a guy, though.
No, but Tracy's the last name.
But yeah, we're going to be reviewing... We're going to be reviewing the favourite film from 2017.
So, favourite film.
Yep.
Let's see if I can remember this, because you've explained this to me several times.
Yes.
Favourite film.
Yep.
Film you were most surprised with.
Yes.
/ most enjoyed.
Yep.
And then film you were overwhelmingly disappointed with.
Yes.
And then we're going to do sort of a similar thing for what we anticipate this year's going to be like.
Yeah, but obviously because we're doing this is coming out in April, so we've already missed the first 4 months of the year. I've said that we can also include
stuff we've already seen.
As we've seen something, we don't think we're going to get something that has a good or as bad
a similar impact.
Yes.
Throughout the year.
Yeah.
Okay, wicked.
But before that, have you?
There's a special section now, isn't there?
There is.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
And this is
because this is something that I don't really know about.
Yeah.
Chris has kept this from me. Yeah. Well, he let me know that there was a thing that we were going to do, but I've not been informed of what really is happening.
Have you watched any trailers this week, Ben?
I have not watched any trailers.
No, because I asked you if you did. You didn't.
I don't really watch trailers, to be fair. I never, if there's like a big trailer out, like I don't know, Christopher Robin, for instance. You know, that blockbuster that's gonna break Titanic's record. I'll watch that sort of stuff, but then like the little stuff with like the Infinity Stones, I'm not too fussed.
Yeah. Okay. That real indie film, yeah.
Yeah.
About Thanos breaking his face on the concrete.
You've mentioned Thanos before, haven't you? Yeah. Anyway,
getting back on track. So I've kept up to date with the trailers that have been coming out this week. I'm going to...
So do trailers get dropped? A lot of trailers get dropped.
Yeah, we get a lot of trailers.
I only really see like I usually find them on Twitter, or if like YouTubers do reviews of them. Yeah. That's usually how I find out that something's even come out. I don't really keep up to date with them. So this is
a way for you to keep up to date with them?
This is, yes, by you telling me and not me watching it and seeing whether or not I'm actually excited.
Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for.
You're going to propose some trailers to me.
I'm going to go through the trailers that have been released this week.
And then you're going to decide whether or not we're going to go to the cinema and see it.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to go and see it. Some of these I was pleasantly surprised with, and I actually might go and see them now.
Fair enough.
So
is it the Christopher Robin trailer?
It's not. So, first of all, we had a trailer for Johnny English Strikes Again.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
I have.
You have seen this one? Oh, okay.
I saw this trailer. I can't remember what it was. Sometime this week. It was.
Yes.
It was
early in the week. It got
released.
I
wasn't prepared for it. Like I didn't know it was going to drop, and then I saw the trailer, and I was like, I'll have a little look at this. And see what it's like.
So, it's written again by Robert Wade, who wrote the original.
Not the second one.
Not the second one.
Because the second one was pretty bad.
Yes.
For one main reason.
What's the main reason?
It's not got Boff in it.
Yeah. So yeah, and you can tell it's more akin to the original through the trailer. He's a lot more moronic in this one, whereas in the second one he was put across as a very competent spy.
They tried to make him look like he could actually do the stuff that he couldn't do in the first one.
Yeah. So obviously Rowan Atkinson's back.
Yeah.
Ben Miller's back. So Emma Thompson is playing the M role.
Okay.
In it, which looks interesting.
Emma Thompson's good in things.
British actress, yeah.
I imagine it's a pretty all-star British cast, much like the first one, apart from the obvious.
Not
insanely good performance of John Malkovich.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Pascal Sauvage.
Oh, that's amazing you can remember it.
Do you know what? Johnny English remains one of my favourite films. I've always found there's always a soft spot because it's a Bond movie.
Yeah.
It's beat for beat a Bond movie, but it's just so stupid. You could get away with saying this film is a Roger Moore Bond film because it's got tongue-in-cheek, it's silly, but the world is at stake. There is a big deal for something to happen. But the second one is just so far removed from it.
Yeah, it was almost completely different.
It was a little bit disappointing, which is why I didn't think they'd do a third one.
So going into the British cast, it's not an all-star British cast because, and I'm going to struggle to pronounce his name, but I'm sure you will be able to do it.
Is it Benedict Cumberbatch?
It's not. Olga Krylenko? who played Camille in Quantum of Solace. She has quite a big role in this, it seems.
Okay.
She's
Okay,
perhaps...
she was the Bond girl, I'm guessing, in Quantum of Solace.
Yes.
Okay.
I
mean, the Daniel Craig ones are so disposable, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They all are, but these just seem very... He falls in love with all of them, and then they're not in the next one.
Yeah. So she was in that. She's in this. It looks like she's playing someone in charge.
She's not the Bond girl, then?
No, she looks almost to maybe be the villain of the film as it was, but she also doesn't fully come across like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see where it is.
Fair enough.
Obviously it's Boff and Johnny English both in the field, which is gonna be great again.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
The best part of the film is the interaction between the two of them, because they've got a great on-screen chemistry.
Yes.
Like, the first film, my favourite scene in the first film is where he goes to the funeral and he thinks it's a fake funeral.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Because he's been following, like, some undertakers or something in a car chase, and then he comes to a funeral and he thinks this is where, like, it's just an empty coffin, or it's a fake funeral, they're going to come back and dig him up later, but it's an actual funeral. And then Boff turns up and pretends that Johnny English is a mental patient that has escaped. And then Johnny English goes into full, like, Blackadder mode, where he's like, full, and does all that sort of stuff. It is one of the best scenes, just in general, because it's just so funny. Like, we as the audience know that it's not set up, and so you're kind of like, you're watching it through your hands. It's quite cringy, but not like Office level cringy where you just want to die.
Yeah.
It's funny because you know that eventually it's going to get explained to him. And but then, like, that never quite happens. It just keeps going. And then obviously Boff turns up and it's just kind of like, it's just so funny. I'd have that scene on my tombstone if I could.
So
a scene of a gravestone. A funeral
on your grave.
My tombstone. That's levels of Inception I don't think we can get into.
So, are you going to go and see this?
I'm not going to lie, the trailer didn't excite me, but I don't think I really saw a trailer for the first one. I think we just went to go and see it because it looked like a fun film, and it was, like 2002?
Yeah.
So we'd have been like 10, 11.
I was quite young when I saw it.
And I think it's just because it's so fun, it's so stupid and funny that you just go with it.
Yeah.
But now we're all kind of older, we start to go, that doesn't make sense. And we were burnt with the last one. So the trailer for me didn't really excite me, but it's the characters that I'm already in love with.
Yeah, that's what was exciting to me. It was seeing them together again.
I will go and see this at the cinema.
Yeah. So I believe this is actually getting released in the US before it gets released here.
Well, that's an upsetting.
Which is strange. But 12th of October it's going to be out.
What, for us?
It says for the US, so...
okay.
As I said, if they still do release it there first, and then us...
I'm not going to be in the States in October, so I guess we'll just have to wait.
Yeah, coming out this year.
Yep, totally looking forward to that.
Next trailer.
Yes.
Is a film called Cargo.
Oh, I've seen a trailer for that, I'm joking.
Stop it.
A film called Cargo.
Cargo.
Is it about the home shop Cargo?
No.
Is it about cargo?
What, cargo in general?
Yes. Is it Fargo, but you've misspelt it?
Interestingly, it stars Martin Freeman.
Does it? Oh, perfect.
So it's gone from Fargo to Cargo. Yeah.
Full circle.
So Cargo is set in a almost post-apocalyptic world. There's been a big zombie virus that's been released.
So it's a zombie. Is it a zombie film?
Yes, but it's not a zombie film in the sense that we've got to survive all of these zombies. Yeah. So it stars Martin Freeman.
And some woman.
And some woman.
Great stuff.
And basically they're a family. They've got this little girl with them.
Okay.
The trailer shows that she gets infected, and they're sort of still trying to get to wherever they're going.
Sanctuary. There's always somewhere to get
You've
to,
only got 48 hours once you've been infected before you turn. So she kicks the bucket. The bucket.
The daughter.
The woman.
Oh, the wife.
The wife, mother.
Okay. So she's not infected.
The kid.
The kid's infected.
No, the kid's not infected.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said the kid was infected.
Sorry, the kid's not infected. The wife is infected.
And then she dies.
She dies.
Right, okay.
But infects Martin Freeman.
Right.
So it's then him trying to find someone to leave his sort of daughter with.
Okay.
But it's...
Like Cargo.
Yeah. So he's sort of making his way through...
I mean, that sounds heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Is this...
It's...
Because it sounds quite sci-fi It's got that 28 Days Later
Yeah.
vibe to it, but it also sounds like it's a very heartwarming, breaking, family-orientated story at its core. Then
I thought originally that it sounds like a lot of a very sort of generic premise. It might still be. He sort of meets other people along the way, a couple of other kids and stuff. So it seems to be there's going to be a lot of character interaction.
Okay, so I guess it's the journey.
Yeah.
And what they go through to find whoever he ends up finding.
The interesting...
Or potentially not, I guess. Maybe he just dies and kills her.
Thing is that it's an original script, original story.
Okay.
It's not based on
it. Directing?
So, yeah, it's directed by Guy Ben Howling.
I mean,
and it's also co-directed by the writer, Yolanda Ramke. I'm not sure how to pronounce her surname.
Okay.
But it's an original story that they made into a 7-minute short film back in 2013. And a lot of the cast that were in that have got roles in the new film as well.
Okay.
So it's nice to have...
It works out that way.
Yeah. I think it was originally scripted in 2009 though. So it's taken a long time to sort of get into a major film. But yeah, it sounds like it could be a good journey. I'm not sure if it's something I would go and see.
Didn't see it.
At the cinema?
You won't need to.
Why?
Because it's being released on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I just had a look. I wanted to see what the poster was like, because you can usually tell a film quite well by its poster.
Okay.
And to be fair, the poster looks like you would expect it to.
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic, there's a hand coming up, and Martin Freeman appears to have managed to grow a beard.
Yes, he has.
And he's got the kid in like one of those like papoose things, but I guess it's just in his backpack.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just says it's going to be released in May by Netflix.
Huh.
Which, to be fair, the fact that you didn't know that tells me this film is going to be bad. Because
maybe, but Annihilation got a cinematic release and then was on Netflix.
Oh really?
Yeah, Annihilation had a cinematic release.
The fact that it's been filmed in Australia,
I
think shows that they wanted to do it well, because Australia does post-apocalyptic very well because of Mad Max. Even though Mad Max looks like it could just be in a town, well, the first film anyway does. Okay, it sounds... I don't think... If that was released in the cinema, I don't think I'd go and see that. Because it sounds quite generic, and I guess you don't go for it for the story.
No, it's...
Because the story is basic. It's the characters and what they do. So I guess it's a character-based film. Martin Freeman, I thought would be a very odd choice, but because it's Netflix, I feel like it feels like a TV film now that it's on Netflix.
That's rather a little bit sad, isn't it?
I know, and maybe that's just me, but I find that anything that gets released direct to Netflix, it's just got that vibe of, we wanted this to be a cinema release, but actually what we've done is we've made it. We don't think it'll do well, so we're just going to stick it on Netflix and see how it does.
Yeah.
You know, stuff that's made for Netflix tends to do quite well. Netflix original stuff is quite good. A few hits and misses. But the fact that it's been made for Netflix, or rather it's being released through Netflix, should we say, my faith in whether or not it's a good film is somewhat diminished, because it sounded like it could be a fun post-apocalyptic film with a very heartbreaking story at the centre of it. Now I get the feeling it's just a cheap sci-fi film. And Martin Freeman's not exactly your lead. I know he was the Hobbit, but apart from that, he's not usually the lead. I guess he might have been the lead in Fargo.
Yes.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah, a couple of years now.
And I feel like he, as a lead actor, he's not really, because even in The Hobbit, there's all of them. It's an ensemble cast. And I guess you would say Elijah Wood is the main character of Lord of the Rings, but there is a fellowship, and there's specifically 4 hobbits.
Yes.
So it would be very difficult to pinpoint. But I guess Elijah Wood, you would go as probably someone's got to be top bill.
Top Bilbo.
Top Bilbo. That's a very good joke.
Thank you.
Except it's the wrong one.
I know, I was calling it back to Freeman. But
fair enough.
Yeah. There's nothing against him as an actor. He's a good actor.
Martin Freeman is a fantastic actor, I think.
It's really fun to see sort of where he's come.
He develops so well, because obviously in Sherlock, he's very good in Sherlock, but you can tell the difference between like Series 2 and Series 3 when he did The Hobbit. And you can see that he acts differently, he interacts differently with people, and I think that's bigger scale, different directors making him do different things, acting, I guess, differently. So this feels like it's more of a callback to the older Martin Freeman. Because Martin
Ali
Freeman...
G. Martin Freeman.
I mean, Ali G. Martin Freeman is the best Martin Freeman. He peaked there, and it's been downhill ever since. He's one of the best things in The Office, and The Office is terrible. I've never enjoyed The Office.
So, not going to watch it?
Won't go and see it. I might watch it on Netflix,
yeah,
but I feel like it's not going to be on my priority.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it on the 18th when it's released.
Also got a trailer for another original film, Terminal.
Terminal? Okay, so not The Terminal.
No.
So is this terminal as in, like, illness?
Kind of.
It's nothing to do with an airport,
So
then.
I've got the synopsis for the film for you.
Okay.
It stars Margot Robbie, Max Irons, Simon Pegg.
I don't know who the middle one was.
And Mike Myers is in it as well.
Oh, really? Mike Myers hasn't done anything for a while, has he?
Right. Yeah. He's in like
he's
in a full of makeup and everything.
Okay, because it's interesting then that he's not like a lead. You've listed him as the fourth person there.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't appear to be a sort of main role. Margot Robbie is the top in the film.
Bilbo.
So it's written and directed by a guy called Bornstein. First time directing, first time writing, I think. I think he's done like some minor little things, but nothing.
Okay, it sounds like it'll be, it sounds like a passion project.
So the synopsis as follows. In the dark heart of a sprawling, anonymous city, Terminal follows the twisting tales of two assassins carrying out a sinister mission. A teacher battling a fatal illness,
Enigmatic.
Yeah.
Enigmatic.
Alcohol. Janitor. And a curious waitress.
I wasn't expecting the word janitor after that, to be fair. You fell over that
Enigmatic
word
janitor.
so many times. I was like, oh, what's it going to be? Janitor. Oh, okay.
Enigmatic janitor. And a curious
What's
waitress.
an enigmatic janitor? Is he really interested in mopping?
Maybe.
I fucking love this.
And a curious waitress leading a dangerous double life.
Oh, okay, so hang on. Curious waitress. So is Simon Pegg the janitor?
No, the janitor is Mike Myers.
Who's Simon Pegg?
A
He
guy.
was like the third name.
Right, it's still
I know
going.
he's a guy. Okay,
Dangerous
sorry.
double life. Murderous consequences unravel in the dead of night as their lives all intertwine at the hands of a mysterious criminal mastermind hell-bent on revenge.
Is that Simon Pegg's character then?
I don't know. It's a very strange trailer.
Simon Pegg's not famous enough to have been put in there.
I think he's the teacher with the fatal illness, is what I gather.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just assumed that was the first character that you mentioned, so I assumed that was Margot Robbie.
No.
Is she the assassin?
She's the waitress.
Oh.
Leading a double life.
It annoys me because the names are listed in a different order than we get the character
I'm
names.
sorry.
That's just annoying. Okay, so Simon Pegg is a teacher with an illness.
Simon Pegg's a teacher with
so
an
that's where
illness.
the terminal comes from. Then there's a janitor who is Mike Myers.
Yep.
That sounds like that could be quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
Margot Robbie's a waitress because, of course, why would she be anything else?
Yep.
And then
the two assassins, one of them is Max Irons, and I forget the name of the other one. Do you remember the trailer for Atomic Blonde?
Vaguely.
So
is it going to be like that because that was terrible?
No, there's lots of bright lights and things. It looks like a real
a lived-in universe.
Neon. Yeah,
a neon nightmare.
Kind of.
Because no one likes neon. Neon is only used to let you know that the kebab house is open.
In like these sort of dingy places and stuff.
Right.
Because it's...
Where's it set?
In this sprawling, anonymous city.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so you did say anonymous city.
Yes.
Where's it filmed?
Not a clue.
Chicago.
Maybe? But yeah, the trailer looks very interesting. I'm a real fan of these films where you follow several different characters and they're all sort of intertwining with one another. Seven Psychopaths.
Seven Psychopaths
is a fantastic film,
brilliant.
and
it comes together in a very good way.
Because it seems that these seem to be the main characters, and you're not going to get a load of people to the side that aren't going to matter too much.
Right. Okay.
So it's going to be a real focus
so whatever
on these.
Makes a terminally ill teacher, a waitress, and a janitor meet.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Margot Robbie's role in it looks very interesting as well. You get a lot of hints to what her double life may be.
Okay. Oh wait, so she's an assassin?
No, so you got the two assassins.
Right, okay. But she has a double life.
She has a double life.
Which I guess is what incorporates
it seems to be running a clinic of sorts, but it's perhaps a bit of
waitressing's not bringing in the dollar.
No, but
when you're Margot Robbie, why wouldn't it?
It's a strange clinic from the looks of things.
Okay.
It looks really interesting. I had no idea that this was a film coming out. I guess because it's an original script, it doesn't get as much traction as something that's been.
Have a look at the poster.
Okay.
What's it called?
Terminal.
The Terminal.
No,
Terminal 5?
No. Yeah, but after seeing the trailer, I'm quite looking forward to it. I think I'll definitely check this out. How's that poster look?
Poster looks weird.
That's fair. The trailers.
Margot Robbie, Simon Pegg, Dexter Fletcher, Max Irons, and Mike Myers. So the poster is of Margot Robbie. She's in a red coat with a gun. So the fact that she's a waitress, now she's got a gun, that'll be interesting. And then behind her is 9 TV screens, of which you can only sort of see like an N shape worth of people actually on there. Like she's covering 2 of them, which I guess could potentially be her double life. Is probably what they're going with there. And Revenge never looked so good. So it sounds weird. The picture doesn't really. So all the pictures on the IMDb are literally just pictures of Margot Robbie. Because of course, why wouldn't it be? The picture looks a little bit more interesting than what you've just explained to me.
Sorry.
But that, to be fair, you've just explained to me the trailer.
Yeah, and read you the synopsis.
Yeah. Okay.
The cast, is that interesting at all to you?
I mean, I don't know who Max Irons is. Dexter Fletcher looks like he's about as close to death as it gets.
Bless him.
Max Irons looks like he's trying to be Dave Franco and Justin Timberlake at the same time. And then the kid from, I'm assuming this is England. Okay. I mean, as far as all-star cast goes, Simon Pegg's kind of coming up, I suppose.
Yeah, he's now branching out
Hollywood
from the
stuff, isn't he?
sci-fi and everything.
Which is fair. I guess, to be fair, the pull-in of this, I think, is probably going to be the cast. Because as far as the story goes, that sounds a little bit generic. It sounds like a typical spy thing.
It's not a spy film.
No, but it's got that kind of, that double life, everything's...
Well, but it's not a double life in the sense that, I'm a spy at night. It's a double life in the sense that she's doing... It sounds like
someone does something, so whoever her clinic is, it's having consequences. And okay, so maybe not spy thing, but it almost sounds quite gangster Guy Ritchie-esque, but American.
You love yourself Guy Ritchie, don't you?
I mean, Guy Ritchie's brilliant for many reasons.
Once again, this doesn't come across like that either.
Okay, so I guess the problem with that is that maybe the trailer comes... Because this just goes down to whether or not trailers are to entice you to watch a film.
Yeah. As
to whether or not that film is good or bad is irrelevant.
I'm interested to go and see it now.
If you had to pick, is there another one, or is that just 3?
There is one more.
Okay, cool. Okay, at the end of it then, I'm going to ask you to recommend only one of them.
What, the trailer to watch?
No, just the film.
Okay, based on what
you think, whether or not the film is worth seeing.
Okay, so the last one is called How to Talk to Girls at Parties.
Of course. This is aimed solely at us, so I'm going to see this.
I mean, I clicked on it accidentally thinking it was a documentary for me to watch, but...
It might be. This sounds like a film that's got Vince Vaughn in it. Once again, I also thought it was going to be like that. Yeah. You're going to be surprised. Has it got Simon Pegg in it?
No.
Okay.
It's set in 1970s Croydon.
that wonderful world that we all want to visit.
1971. You follow 3...
Oh, so Dark Side of the Moon's not even been released yet. So there's no point in being in Croydon.
You follow these 3 people who are in the punk... what would be the
movement?
Word? Yes. There's lots of punk in it. The trailer starts and they're at a gig.
Okay.
The guy's got like the bleached blonde hair, sort of gel back, kind of looking very Sid Vicious-esque. So they're at this gig, and then they decide to go to, I think it's supposed to be like a strip club kind of thing, a sex house, a brothel.
A sex house.
Sex house.
Strip club would have been fine.
No.
But you said sex house.
I'm going to keep calling it a sex house now.
Sex house is the best way of putting it.
Because it's not a strip club.
Right, okay.
It is a house. It's like a mansion.
Okay, so structurally, it's a house.
Structurally, it's a house.
But
you could say a sex house.
Sex house. It should be called sex house. A lot of people would see that.
Yeah, so they go in there. There are all of these women dressed in latex and strange outfits, and they're all acting strange. One of the guys...
They're robots.
They're aliens.
Okay, well that sounds interesting.
Aliens posing as humans to sort of learn about them, but also, I think, eat them.
Right.
Some people later on it gets mentioned. They're like, "Oh, they're not going to eat us." But yeah, this guy
is a comedy.
No,
because you can't set a film in 1970s Croydon without being like, "This is gonna be funny."
So it won't be, because it's based on a book by Neil Gaiman.
Oh, okay. That automatically interests me because Neil Gaiman's a very, very good writer.
Oh, that was the trump card I was going to put in at the end, but you kept saying it's going to be a comedy. It's like, oh, no, it's not. It's a very heavily sci-fi film.
Yeah.
The lead meets a girl at this sex house, and she's
in Croydon.
She's sort of interested in the fact of like the punk attire he's in. She like cuts a snippet in her dressing, and she's like, "Oh, that's so punk." She's like, "What's punk?" And she's like, "Oh, take me to the punk." So he takes her out of the sex house, and they go on their own little adventures and things.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
takes her to a gig, and she starts to sort of dress very punk, and then something happens. I think she's trying to be called back by the aliens. Yeah, because they're doing weird shit. And then
you say weird shit, but visually you must have seen something.
Yeah, so
for you to be calling it weird shit.
Well, there's all of these people obviously in
they're
latex
like melting into walls or something.
Yeah, there's one, and there's like a woman or a man sort of bent over in front of this one person, and like a hand's coming out of their shoulder. There's two of them, and they're sort of talking. Then one of their jaws just rips sort of open.
That sounds very Neil Gaiman.
It's like an acid trip, I would imagine.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is sounding interesting.
Because they're trying to take this girl away, and the guy with her is like, "Don't go," and she's like, "I feel alive. This is what maybe feeling alive feels like." And then there seems to be something that's going to happen between the punks and the aliens, sort of going head to head, which could be a film in itself, one of those real sort of B budget movies.
Yeah.
Like Cockneys versus aliens.
I mean,
punks versus aliens.
It sounds very World's End.
Yes, but this looks more interesting.
Okay, I mean, I enjoyed The World's End.
I enjoyed it, but obviously not as much as the other two in the Cornetto trilogy.
The Cornetto trilogy, it's not the best, but...
But yeah, I get what you mean by that, and yes, it is in that sense of, like, aliens versus your everyday
when was
people.
the book written?
The book was written 2006.
Okay, so it would have been before World's End was... So comparing it to World's End is kind of unfair in that the book was written first.
Yeah, but just like because you've obviously not seen anything on this, so for a reference for yourself and the others if they've not seen this. So it stars Ellie Fanning, which is a sister to Dakota Fanning, maybe.
It's weird that you'd get
Nicole Kidman.
Is Nicole Kidman one of the aliens?
I think she's one of the punks. I'm not 100% sure. I went through the trailer, but there's nothing.
I don't mind either of those.
I don't remember sort of being like, "Oh, that's Nicole Kidman." So she blends in wherever she is really well.
Oh, okay. That's kind of. Oh yeah, Nicole Kidman's in this. Forgettable.
Yeah, and Matt Lucas is in it as well.
Oh, of course he is.
All of the punk guys and all the rest of the people have done next to sort of nothing.
Okay.
I would have got their names, but as I said, there's nothing for me to sort of say, "Oh, they were in this."
Okay, so it sounds quite indie.
Yeah.
Through the car. I mean, it sounds quite indie anyway.
It's done by a studio called A24, I think.
Okay.
I think it's maybe like in the same vein as like Canal Studios and things.
Yeah, it sounded like it was going to be a Canal Studios one.
It's
like working title, something along those lines.
So yeah, British film.
Has it got Mark Strong in it?
No.
Sounded like it should have done.
So I don't know in terms of like international release.
I'm going to look at the poster like I've done with the rest of them.
Okay, but this is coming out this month as well. How to talk to girls at parties.
Talk to girls at parties. I mean, it looks kind of awful from the poster.
Let me see. Yeah.
But to be fair, that does sum it up quite well. It looks very cosmic. It looks very punk, and I guess that's the point.
So the clip, what's it called? The thumbnail for the YouTube video is sort of like them kissing.
Has this film been released?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh no, initial release May the 18th.
Yeah. Based on the trailer, I'm pleasantly surprised by how it looks.
I just want to know what Nicole Kidman looks like. Oh my god.
Is she the punk?
I mean, fair play to her.
Yes. I thought it was going to be that.
She does not look as old as she is.
No. you said earlier on that you thought it was going to be like a Vince Vaughn kind of film. I thought it was going to be something like Seth Rogen-y.
See, it sounds like from the word, it sounds like it's going to be kind of like that, like Wedding Crashers or something that he was in, and it sounds, or it could be like one of the Franco brothers sorts of films. It sounds, or even like Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging. It sounds like that sort of.
Yeah, but no, I was really surprised by the trailer.
You don't watch a lot of British things, do you? Because there's a lot of people I recognise in this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're dotted around in like British sitcoms. And
there was also a lot of like empty gaps for names on there. Are they prominent roles though? Because from the trailer, the three prominent roles are the guys, and then Ellie Fanning,
Nicole.
Because Matt Lucas being in it, he doesn't seem to have a prominent role.
See, Matt Lucas, he's not. I mean, he's obviously one of the leads in Little Britain, but in everything else he's in, bit part.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good in Doctor Who, but he is a sidekick, and he plays a sidekick. And then whatever the hell that was that you showed me that he was in, with that hotel, the Vic Reeves Bob Mortimer thing.
Oh, Caderick.
He's terrifying in that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, loads of these people have been dotted around in stuff. Well. I do not recognise Ellie Fanning, though, as to what she's been in previously.
I think it's...
Oh, she was in Super 8. Okay, so that looks like
once
it
again,
could be good because of the
interest
cast.
in it. It's Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman was the big trump card to have.
I guess it 100% depends on, is it adapted well as a screenplay.
Yes, fair enough. Because the book might be easier. It might be easier to sell it as a book than a film.
Yes.
Even though the punk thing is very visual.
Yeah, and it looks good.
Fair
despite
enough.
being Croydon.
To be fair, that looks interesting. I would consider seeing it.
Okay.
But the punk has never really been one of my things, and I'm not sure I could endure if there's a lot of punk in it. Because
it's very prominent on the punk.
Yeah, it looks like the film to me looks like it should open with them at a punk gig.
Yes.
So I imagine it probably will.
Yeah.
Or like these kids are getting ready to go out on a night out and they've got their punk records playing and they're fucking hair up, putting pins in their faces, and it's intriguing. I would consider seeing it.
Okay. So
out of all of them,
out of the four,
so there was Johnny English, Terminal.
Yep.
The one with Cargo, and this one.
How to Talk to Girls at Parties.
I'm going to take out Johnny English because I was always going to see that.
Okay.
So I'll give you these three. It's probably the punk one.
Yeah,
because that one sounds most interesting. Because the one with Margot Robbie is a bit generic. Mm-hmm. It may be very good, but it just seems weird. Cargo.
Yeah, Martin Freeman.
Just sounds pointless.
Okay. Cool.
So
I'm probably with you on that as well, in fairness.
Yeah.
The Terminal...
I think
Terminal looks very interesting, but...
We were burnt with Atomic Blonde. I mean, I've not seen it, but even from the trailers, it looks terrible.
Yeah. That's the trailers for the week. Well, that was quite interesting. So I guess the main subject that we wanted to do this week... Yeah,
2017.
2017 in review.
Wicked. So don't look at my answers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start with... Do you want to start with the best or the worst?
Let's go. Let's start high. Let's start with best.
Okay. So your favourite film?
My favourite film of last year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be super predictable here, but it was The Last Jedi.
Oh, it wasn't Justice League.
No. Close second. My man.
My man.
I overwhelmingly, and I'm not going to talk a lot about this because that's probably a podcast in itself.
Yeah.
And I would love to do that eventually. But The Last Jedi for me, I went to the midnight showing because from the word go, from the trailer, I was so hooked. The Force Awakens was great. I know the worst thing about Star Wars is the fans.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people listening to this are going, it's terrible. Rogue One's so good. And I'm sorry, but that's just not how it is. But The Force Awakens for me was just so good. It set up so many things. Mm-hmm. It ends on a cliffhanger, sort of, with the lightsaber out, and you don't know what it's going to say. Spoilers.
I was going to say, probably should say spoilers going ahead if you've not seen any of these films.
If you've not seen The Force Awakens, what are you doing with your life? It's been out for 2 years. I think The Last Jedi for me did a really good job with going, here's all the stuff we had set up. You just don't know what they're going to do with it, and then they do pretty much what you're not expecting them to. Mm-hmm. Without going into full detail, because that is a podcast for another day. beat for beat, it's not Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Because a lot of people just assumed it would be, because a lot of Force Awakens is A New Hope.
Right.
There are elements of it that make you go, well, that's just taken from Return of the Jedi, and there is a big Walker fight in it, like in Empire, but it's not like a beat for beat thing.
Yeah.
It worked quite well that Force Awakens was like a greatest hits.
Yeah.
And it was a nice pushing off point for you to go with, this is what the Star Wars universe is. These are the new characters. Don't worry about the story. The stories are always going to be this. Every Star Wars film is just blow up a big thing at the end. Not so much in this one.
No.
There is a stupid space chase.
Yeah.
Goes nowhere. There is a side quest for Finn and new character Rose,
Goes nowhere.
which is terrible, and I'm sorry, but it's the worst part of the film. In a film that is already 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
it's a bit that you could have gotten rid of. Some of the special effects are obvious and annoying. BB-8 still looks amazing. I want to have my own BB-8 purely so that I can go, how doesn't it fall over? Why does the dome not fall off the ball? BB-8 still looks amazing. There's a great introduction with Benicio del Toro's character. DJ, although nothing really, spoilers, nothing really comes of it. It's nice to have a different character. Because that character just says, I've lived in this universe. This is what the universe is like. And they're like, no, you're wrong. Good will always prevail. And he's like, yeah, maybe it will.
Yeah.
He's one of the characters that's just like, he goes, I'm big enough to admit that what I've seen is this is what I think will happen. You think something else is going to happen. Okay, it may very well do. But in the end, I've still got to make my way in the universe, and that's what I'm doing. And it's refreshing to have a character that's not just kind of like destiny orientated. Good has to prevail.
Yeah.
I am evil because I don't want my wife to die, and then I kill her anyway. It's just like refreshing to have different characters.
Yeah.
And Benicio del Toro's stutter is just so good.
Yeah. I mean, he's an amazing actor.
He's an amazing actor, and he was one of the characters going in that I was like, I'm really looking forward to him, and he didn't disappoint. Phasma disappointed.
No, I really enjoy DJ as a character as well.
It ends in just one of the best ways ever. We get a lot of people go, shit, what? No, Luke can't do that. That's not a thing that the Force can do. It's a thing that was introduced in Rebels, and to be fair, Star Wars will go forever. I'm sure they'll just invent new things that the Force can do.
Yeah.
They did it in the extended universe. Just because they didn't do it in the extended universe, which is now not canon, doesn't mean you can bitch and moan about it because you haven't seen it before. It has to be introduced at some point. Just because you haven't seen it up until now doesn't mean it's not there.
I mean, the other thing to take away is that Luke is established as one of the most powerful Force users ever, so it shouldn't come as a surprise.
Yeah, and Mark Hamill just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about the original trilogy as far as acting goes, which I guess actually works for their favour because you just get lost in these characters because that's who they are. And you're like, of course, Carrie Fisher is Princess Leia.
Yeah.
You know, okay, she has done other things and she is famous in her own right for doing other things, but she'll always be Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Princess Leia can be no one else. You know, it's one of those ones where you've
creating and owning a role.
Got these characters that aren't replaced.
Until now.
Yeah. But Mark Hamill's character arc does not go how you think it will. There is a lot in his interim years of destroying the Empire and then being this like old hermit on an island that you just assume that something bad happened. It's always looked at in The Force Awakens. You never know really what it's about. And then everything's revealed and you just kind of go, of course that's what happened, and of course that's how he reacted.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just go, oh, that's not the Luke Skywalker I know.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude's like 30 years older now.
Yeah.
Maybe some bad shit happened.
Because that's how life works.
Because that's how life works. You know, the great thing about Star Wars is you can take it any way you want.
Yeah.
For better or worse. And I took The Last Jedi as just an insanely good film. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
I would probably give it 4 stars. The 1 star,
out of
5.
Okay.
It's always 5 stars.
It could be 10 stars.
Why would you do 10 stars?
I don't know, maybe you like to throw stars at people.
I'm not Kenny.
Kenny?
South Park.
Does he throw stars at people?
There's that one where they've got like they all have like ninja toys
Oh,
and stuff.
of
And
course.
Oh no!
My God!
Oh no! He throws it at Butters, doesn't he?
Yeah, it gets stuck in his eye. Oh, My God, that's
him up as a dog. Take him to the vet.
Are you okay?
I love that show so much just because it's so stupid. So mine was Star Wars because I was so excited, and I still get giddy sat in the cinema and you read the words "a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away." I always get shivers down my back, and then Star Wars booms up and you just go, I'm so ready for this.
So I felt the same when The Force Awakens came out and we got that. I felt giddy then, and I also had it when I went to go and see Godzilla. And
and
it was like the end fight in that. I was like, it's just the child in me being happy. It's when he rips open one of the Muto's mouths and blows his Nova flame down it. And, I was so happy.
But that didn't come out last year.
No, it didn't. It didn't come out last year. So
what's your favourite film from last year?
My favourite film from last year was Get Out.
Fair enough. I will say now, I haven't seen it.
And I recommend anyone...
Yeah.
Anyone and everyone
Anyone
to see
who's seen it has told me that I need to see it because it's amazing.
It just is. I don't know what I was thinking it was going to be going into it, but the story you go on with the main character and everything, it's so messed up.
Yeah.
And...
It doesn't... Okay, so like what I said with The Last Jedi, it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go.
No.
And you're constantly, you're constantly on the back foot watching it.
Yeah, there's so much about, like, social status and levels and how people are cheated.
It set?
America.
Great stuff. I'm assuming it's South America, not South America, but southern.
I can't remember where it's set. Him and his girlfriend live in the city, but her family have a big house out in the countryside, and they have like their own
views.
It's so strange. I feel it's difficult to sort of comment on it because of the social levels and stuff. There's obviously a huge thing of how people are treated in society and looked at. As a film itself as well, though, it's great how everything sort of pieces together.
Has it got an amazing third act?
Yes. The third act is so good now I've thought about it, because you're watching it all sort of go on and something is wrong. Something is constantly wrong. You don't know what it is. You're piecing it together with the character.
There's like a level of like unsettling factor. Because
it's kind of a horror film, but also not a horror film. In the way that horror films, you sort of go into it and you go, oh, well, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. You know something is up, but you don't know what is up. And you don't realise sort of how widespread it is.
Right, okay.
But yeah, the third act is everything's sort of been discovered, and it's him trying to get out of the situation that he's in.
To get out?
To get out, yeah.
Okay.
He's got a one.
Because I always just assumed that he's stuck in the chair, and he's to get out of the chair?
Kind of.
Because that's the poster, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the DVD
which is
cover.
something to do with
glue.
The woman, the mother. She does hypnosis.
Okay.
And so she.
Can you stop doing that? That's really unsettling.
So she has a cup of tea and she's stirring it, and
right. Okay.
It's the sound of that puts them into
It must be very difficult to like making tea for everyone.
Well, it's when she's just sat there and she's sort of doing it, and then she clicks the side of the cup, and then you go. But it's in this chair, and she's just sort of doing it, and she's like, sink. And then he just falls into the chair. It's weird.
Yeah.
And then you get a perspective from being stuck in his mind.
Yeah.
He has a wonderful friend who stays in the city. I think he works for like a security monitoring company.
Okay.
Like one of these ones that are constantly watching every move you make. And he's constantly like, oh, well, things are kind of weird here. People are acting up. Guy's like, these white folks, they're crazy, man. Get out of there. And he's all the way throughout it. He's like, you on the outside? Because he's living it. And he's like, oh, these are all weird. And you're like, it is weird, so leave. He's the one who's constantly sort of like, get out. Come on. What are you doing? It's crazy. They're clearly crazy.
So does he know what's going on because he's seen it from the outside? He's
just sort of being the friend from the support side. But yeah, he plays a big role in it as well. It's just such a good film.
Who's in it?
I didn't recognise anyone
in it, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Which was kind of nice. 'Cause you then don't go, oh, this is this guy, he's been in this, and this. It was, the only name I can associate with it is Jordan Peele.
Okay.
So Jordan Peele was part of a comedy duo, Key and Peele. They did loads of comedy sketches, but he split up, and this was his first movie that he wrote and directed, and it was phenomenal. I really hope that he does more and gets the opportunity to do more. Loved it. I mean, I could have gone with stuff like, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was amazing, but...
Yeah, I think we've done our best to try to avoid comic book stuff, because that's...
No, I really enjoy those movies, and they're fantastic, but at the same time, I'm such a sucker for good storytelling.
Yeah.
And this film does it so well.
To be fair, there's no Marvel on mine.
Okay.
No, that's a lie, there is, but it kind of obviously...
But no, loved it.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Fair enough, will do. And you should check out The Last Jedi.
Oh, I should. Well, I went to the midnight screening in Japan.
I really hope that it comes tomorrow.
How dare you ignore me?
Why? I went to the midnight showing as well.
Yeah.
But it would have been different. Because your midnight would have been before mine, surely.
No, because we had it released the day after.
Did you have it released on the Thursday into Friday? Or on the Friday into Saturday?
I can't remember. It was after the UK, though. Anyway, do you want to go into the low, then back up?
Yeah, okay, so worst film of last year.
Worst film of last year.
So I think you should go with this one, because I always go first.
Okay, it's something that's already been mentioned.
Is it Atomic Blonde?
It's Atomic Blonde.
Fair enough.
Which I got to see for free.
Yes.
As a promotional showing.
Briefly worked at the cinema.
I did briefly work at the cinema, yeah. Yeah, I got to see it as a promotional showing while I worked there, so didn't pay for it. But I nearly walked out at least 5 or 6 times. I'm a huge fan of John Wick, which I know you hate. Okay. I thought it was going to be in the same vein. Because that's how it sort of was advertised. It was like, oh, look at this badass. It's Charlize Theron.
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Now that's a good film.
Mad Mandy.
Mad...
Mickelson.
Gibson.
Mel?
Mad Mel.
Mad Mel. There we go. That's how it was advertised. At least that's how I interpreted it in the trailers. It has a fantastic cast. James McAvoy, Charlize Theron, John Goodman, Toby Jones, Bill Skarsgård.
That's so many really good... That's a lot of talent.
God awful.
Are they bad in it as well, though? Because...
They're there.
The thing is, though, like, even if as good actors in a bad film, you've got to still kind of understand whether or not they are acting well, or if they're just honing it in because it's a paycheck.
It's based on a comic book, so maybe the comic book is good and the screenplay is bad. But from the trailer, I knew who the bad guy was.
Mm.
It kind of switches at the end, but...
You just don't care at that point.
You don't care, no. There's an awkward sort of lesbian scene in the middle, which I almost got up and left. The fight scenes are clumsy.
Do people just stand there waiting to be shot?
No.
Because that's my issue with John Wick.
No. There's a scene where she's fighting this one guy in a hotel, and it's sort of just like they're hold of each other and sort of tussling and sort of pushing each other into things, which I guess is realistic in a fight sense, but in a movie it just doesn't come across well.
Yeah.
There's no music to it either,
which
which in some cases works for a scene and makes it more dramatic. In this, it was just awkward. It was like watching two people fumbling around on the street.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron's character has no personality, which just doesn't help the film. The plot is overly convoluted for what you're there for. I just thought... I went into it thinking it was going to be so much more than it was, and it was a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. But yeah,
it's just not worth it.
No. As I said, I got to see it for free.
Yeah.
The only reason I stayed was because it was free, and...
So you'd have walked out if you'd have paid for it?
Yes. And I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so you don't recommend Atomic Blonde?
I recommend avoiding it.
That's aggressive.
Thank you. So yeah, what is your least favourite?
My least favourite film of last year is a film that you and I went to go and see.
Oh, I know what it is.
It's the failed attempts to reboot RoboCop.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell.
Which is... It's strange that you don't like it, because I know a lot of people don't like it because they love the source material.
Yeah.
I've given you the source material, but
and
you've
I
not watched it.
have not watched it. I might find a new appreciation for how bad the film is or based on that, but I could not get over the fact that it is basically RoboCop. She's human
Mm.
at some point. I don't think we really get much of that in the film, apart from flashbacks.
You get more of it in the film than you do the animation.
Okay.
The animation
She
movie, I think it gets flushed out in the
She's
series.
turned into a robot to live because she's dying or something. I don't really know. And then she's kind of like used by some sort of government secret service thing.
It's a police force.
And there's like a team of them. I think she's the only one. The rest of them are like enhanced.
Yes.
I think she's the only one that's solidly like a robot, effectively.
Yeah.
She's constantly plagued by like her memories.
Yeah.
And then eventually I think she finds her mother.
You remember this more than I do.
Again, because it's RoboCop and I know what RoboCop is.
You sure you're not remembering RoboCop?
I'm remembering RoboCop. Yeah, he goes to that house and he punches that TV.
The sex house.
The sex house. No, you don't want Peter Weller to get into your sex house.
Especially not punching boxes.
Punching boxes. Scarlett Johansson, everyone had a problem with her because she's not
It was
Asian.
Yeah.
Again,
Whitewashing.
I think for me, because I didn't care, I hadn't seen the source material, for me it just looked like an action film that was just set in Japan. Is it Japan?
It's set in Japan.
Fair enough.
Neo Tokyo, I think.
Okay. The world is kind of interesting. Some sort of war has been raging for a while because there's like these outland kids in this like area that's like deep in decay.
Yeah.
Right at the end where like this main battle happens. And I just didn't care about it in the slightest because throughout all of it I was just going, this is just RoboCop and RoboCop's better.
Yeah.
The whole humanity aspect in robots is a really interesting factor. It's what I thought Ex Machina was going to be like. And that film let me down as well. Not because it's not RoboCop. But like the whole thing about RoboCop is that he is still a human inside a machine fighting out of it. And that's what I think the new film also got wrong with it.
Yeah.
Is that they just let him be human and then they made the robot side take over. And then he kind of fights it back and it just didn't work. Because you just go, this is what we try and do to people. We turn them into machines, but you are fundamentally still this person at heart. Because even in like the second one, they put a criminal into a robot and then they're shocked that he turns out to be a fucking psychopath. It's like, well, of course you did. The only reason this one worked is because you've got a strong-willed person. And in Ghost in the Shell, she's just... There is that sense of, I want to do right by everyone. There is that wholesome part of them, but it's just overshadowed by a bleak world that you just can't get part of. Other characters that are so boring. One dude gets like his eyes shot out or something, so then he gets robot eyes.
Yeah.
And again, just thought he was going to die, didn't care. There's kind of hinted at like maybe they had a thing, or maybe I was misreading that.
No.
But again, it just seemed weird because she's actually a robot. I'm sure she doesn't have a working vagina. It would be weird if they gave her one. But then there's a lot of like scenes they have to do like maintenance on her or something, and even the CGI just isn't that good. Just looked like they made a CGI robot.
Yeah.
And then just stuck her face on it because it looked jarring to look at. The way that she moves.
Have you rewatched it?
No.
Oh.
I don't want to. That's why it's on my list. No, because what I did the very next day, I watched RoboCop, and I went, "That's how this is done." Unknown actors. You know, Peter Weller, he'd done one thing beforehand. The woman that's his partner is a famous woman at the time because she was just so goddamn beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the guy that plays the bad guy who's in that 70s show.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Clarence
Boddicker he plays a villain so well, which I don't think you get in Ghost in the Shell, because you get that one villain that kind of like turns up and he's all mysterious and then he kind of like disappears and he kind of like throws some like information at her and then she starts to remember stuff. And you're like, oh, okay, so this is going to be the bad guy. And then he's not actually a bad guy. He's part of like, I don't know, like a resistance or something. He wants the truth out or something.
Yes.
He's kind of like a hacker sort of person. Like he can go through the internet and shit like that. And a lot of the time I'm just like, maybe because I don't understand the world. Maybe it's because I'm so old, I don't get what's going on. But he seemed like a really mysterious person from the moment we saw him, and then everything else he's in, he was a disappointment.
Yeah, it's...
He was set up as real intrigue, which you don't
get
get
from two characters together from the series, but...
Potentially. Again, don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, he looked like he could be quite interesting, and he just wasn't.
Yeah.
And then doesn't turn out to be, like, the main bad guy. The main bad guy turns out to be, like, the government or something, because they're behind, like, conspiracy shit.
Yes.
And you just go, okay, I guess that's how it ends. And spoiler alert, but I don't know if she makes it. I genuinely can't remember if she dies at the end.
No, I can't remember.
Kind of feel like she may have done.
I feel it was I think it's a different ending to how the movie.
But there's a scene
ends.
where she goes and finds her mother, and I can't remember whether or not she tells her mum whether or not she is the person that she is her daughter or something. But like that on paper should be heartbreaking.
Oh,
Didn't
I remember
get that
now.
In the slightest, because Scarlett Johansson.
She's like,
just
oh yeah,
acts,
you look like her.
Yeah, which she clearly doesn't, because your daughter's not going to be Scarlett Johansson. But like you want it to be.
This is the second week we talked about Scarlett Johansson,
and this is not positive. It should be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because it should be that I now realise who I am, and you are my family, but I feel nothing for you because I am basically just a machine. As soon as that happened, and then she just like leaves, I'm like, okay, that was the emotional climax of the film, and it was piss poor. Yeah. Handled badly. RoboCop is a better film, which makes me wonder if Ghost in the Shell is just RoboCop.
So, is that your recommendation?
I would recommend
watch
watching
RoboCop
because you'll enjoy it more.
That's what
I
say
would
to
not recommend.
watch.
I would if I've not seen Atomic Blonde,
Yeah.
so I can't not recommend it more.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Atomic
I'd recommend
Blonde was
watching
more
the
of a
animated
letdown.
version
Yeah.
of
I think
Ghost
with
in the
Atomic
Shell.
Blonde, there's nothing that you could recommend instead.
John Wick.
No, because that's also a terrible film.
Mad Mel.
Yeah, watch Mad Mel. Find any YouTube video of Mel Gibson shouting racism, and you will just love it.
I know that we got that obviously from Mel Gibson because we went around the whole Australia thing.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's Mel B from the Spice Girls. So find
Not
a video
Mel
of
B
Mel
from Bo Selector then.
Find a video of Mel B being angry.
Being angry. But if you can find a video,
hopefully in a post-apocalyptic world.
If you can find a video of Mel Gibson shouting at Mel B for obvious reasons, then I think you may have won the internet.
It's because he hates Spice Girls.
Because they're women?
No, he's just not a fan of the music. He was more of a Backstreet Boys kind of guy, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. I thought you were going to bring that around to like an actual fact then, and I was like, where's he going with this?
That would be a really weird fact to have about Mel Gibson.
I mean, Mel Gibson seems like the sort of person that would really like Korn.
Yeah.
But like secretly. He's a big fan of the Proclaimers.
I can believe that. And Jedward.
I really want him to have like one of those like picture discs signed by the band.
Yeah.
And he looks at them and just goes, I don't know which one's which.
So
final one
for
2017.
Yeah.
Which is a very confusing one for nailing down which one I want to use.
Sorry.
It's the one that you were most surprised with.
Yes. So it's the film that I went to go and see, not thinking it was going to be anything special.
Yeah.
And I ended up having a lot of fun with it. But my winner goes to Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. So sticking with
Chris is a nerd.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, but I'm cool.
Oh, sorry.
I've got friends.
Sorry, I'm dragging you down.
That's alright.
So this is the third Yu-Gi-Oh! Film. The first one that the original creator has actually worked on.
Okay.
The first one was made as sort of a publicity cash-in. The second one was an anniversary. I forget how many years it's been. It must have been the 15th anniversary.
God, is it that old though?
It's 20 years this year.
That's insane.
15th anniversary was a sort of gift to the fans. It was a crossover with the three protagonists from the three different series at that point. Neither of them are good films. The third one is...
It was because you watched it at cinema.
I did. You went to an
actual cinematic room.
Yeah. I have friends that sort of do parodies of it online, and they always say support. And they always say support the official release. And for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not often, other than like the trading cards and things, that you get the opportunity to support the official release as it was. And it's set in the original universe, so it's the original guy Yugimoto, Seto. And that, are you familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh?
I've never watched it, never played it.
Okay.
So you're speaking to a very niche few people.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I'm speaking to one guy.
Yeah, and the rest of them have just fast forwarded. Well, so if you put a time code into my better answer.
Sorry, but yeah, all the originals are back. The film doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
There's lots of like in jokes and stuff, which are from the original Japanese script, and I'm guessing there's stuff that they've put in there when they've translated it as well. I thought it was just going to be perhaps in like the same vein as the other two films, but I was laughing hysterically out loud at some of the stuff that was going on.
Just a put that into perspective, you weren't the only one laughing in the cinema.
I was the only one in the cinema.
Right, okay.
I wasn't. There was lots of people there.
Okay, but like you weren't just like hysterically laughing at it, and everyone else was like, "I don't get what he's laughing at." Like everyone was enjoying it.
Yeah, everyone was enjoying it.
Yeah.
The film's pretty bog standard storytelling. It has quite a nice ending. There's a whole thing throughout the film of, because it follows on from the end of the series where there's a spirit living in the boy who's really good at card games.
Okay.
And he leaves at the end of the series. The antagonist, or frenemy, Kaiba, is obsessed with beating this guy. He never sort of really gets over it.
Right, okay.
And he becomes insanely obsessed in this film. He's like trying to figure out ways to sort of bring him back, call him back to this world. And this kid's like, he's gone. He's never coming back. Get over it. I'm having to get over it. He was a part of my life for this long. Deal with it. So there's this whole thing going throughout the film of like, oh, is he going to come back? Is he? And you got this other group that are trying to prevent him from coming back, because otherwise they'll lose whatever powers they've got. Yeah, it's just so... It ends really nicely. He comes back ever so briefly and gives a real little lot... Because you don't think he is, I guess. But yeah, loved it. I've got it on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice. That's always a sign that you enjoyed it if you're going to buy it on a separate platform.
Plus you got a free trading card if you bought it early enough. But yeah, that was mine.
Wicked. So Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side of Dimensions.
Dark Side of Dimensions. Fair enough. Okay, so you'd wholeheartedly recommend it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans.
I'd recommend it if you watch the series. I mean, you've definitely got to have at least seen bits of the original series to be able to watch it. It's not something you can go into, because I think a lot of the jokes maybe go over your head.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been made for the fans.
Yes.
Like they've had they've had writers of the show go like, well, this is how we used to do it. This is what they'll enjoy if we did it this way. Yeah.
As I said, it's done by the original creator of the series, so
it's good.
Yeah, it was good. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay, wicked. So based on how you've just described that film, I know the one that I'm going to talk about now.
Okay.
I'm going to say honourable mention for a few, because of the ones that I wanted to talk about, but I won't. I had Power Rangers down, so honourable mention for Power Rangers. Baby Driver.
Okay.
Because I only wanted to watch it because it's an Edgar Wright film.
Yeah.
Turned out it's actually really good.
Okay.
Would really recommend it. Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
Which is the Channing Tatum, Adam Driver with Daniel Craig as a crazy Southern man. He's really good in that, to be fair. And he's supposed to be smart. He's using science.
Oh.
My air quotes there for
yes.
people that obviously couldn't see that. The film I was totally knocked over with was Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Okay.
Second film that Rock's been in that's called Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes, it is.
But I went to go and see it because people had told me it was quite good. For me, the original Jumanji is not a good film.
Is it a nostalgia thing?
Not even that, because I watched it as a child and never understood what it was about. I couldn't understand why people were being sucked into a board game, and I couldn't understand why Robin Williams was upset with an empty factory. Maybe I watched it because I was too young to understand it.
Maybe.
Watching it again, I still don't maintain it's a very good film, but the Robin Williams part of it, and this is because he's such a good actor, is heartbreaking, and you totally are just fallen with him as a character. Yeah. And when they said that they were going to remake Jumanji, everyone just, I mean, this was after Robin Williams had passed away. Everyone was just kind of like, he's the best part of that film. How are you going to do that? And they more or less, there is still a character that gets stuck in the game, but they don't kind of tug on your heartstrings the same way. And I think they try to avoid doing too much about it.
Okay.
There is...
Is it the same game?
It's the same game. So, like, it's a board game.
But it turns into a video game?
Yeah, so dad or something gets this board game and he gives it to his son. His son's not interested. So overnight, the game turns into a console.
Okay.
And then the kid gets sucked into the game.
Oh, okay.
And then it's the house where the kid was in is like a house that everybody avoids because a crazy dad lives there because he lost his son. Right. So there's that kind of aspect of it. So they kind of address it head on. They kind of go, we're going to use this part of the story. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Here's how we're handling it. Just go, and then the game gets lost for ages. Yeah. And then it gets donated to a school, and then very Breakfast Club-esque, 4 kids get put into detention. And then they got the principal makes them clean up like a utility cupboard or something, and then like they find the game, and I suppose you should mention these are all kind of like unknown teen actors. So there's the jock, there's the nerd, the guy nerd, then there's a girl nerd, and then there's the Instagrammy girl.
Yeah.
So nerd gets turned into the Rock, the jock character gets turned into Kevin Hart,
right,
who is basically the Rock's bag carrier. And that comes into play so often. It's so good. The girl nerd gets turned into Karen Gillan, who's like an insanely skilled fighter.
Okay.
And then the Instagram girl gets turned into Jack Black. The dynamic between those actors playing their opposites together is so good, and it's a step up, I think, from the Jumanji game where you just get sucked into the game. You are you in like a live action version of this, whereas they've just gone, that's a video game, you play a different person. So they did that really, really well. Kevin Hart, they've got stat screens, and if they touch their chest, stat screen comes up.
Okay.
All a big fan of stat screens.
You are.
And The Rock's weaknesses is none. He's literally like invulnerable.
Okay.
Like you can shoot him, and that will kill. Like that stands.
Takes a life, but
yeah. The bad guy is there's like a crystal, and he wants the crystal because then he wins the game.
Okay.
But then because it's still a video game.
Yeah.
So there's like a point to it, but then they need the crystal to put back into like a giant panther, which will then end this curse of like animals trying to kill everything. I can't honestly remember it's your standard video game plot.
Okay.
It makes no sense. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
But it was just so surprisingly funny, and I guess they had to.
You've recommended it to me numerous times since I've got back.
And it's not out yet on DVD here, and as soon as it is, we're watching it. But no, it's worth a watch for anybody who's going, oh, it's just that Jumanji film, but they remade it. I really liked it. It was a great film. People who are avoiding it for that reason maybe do avoid it. Right. Because of your nostalgia for that first film.
But from what you're saying, it's a different
It's
film.
Quite a different film. It's kind of almost in name only. So yeah, it's a combination of heartbreaking and really, really funny. It's more funny than it is heartbreaking, because that is the main thing.
Yeah.
And then, beat for beat, I guess it's just a typical action film, because there's a lot of...
Yeah.
But then the Karen Gillan thing, like, she's being taught how to be seductive by Jack Black. And like he's doing like the struts, and then like she's trying to do it and she's just like bossing her feet around and it's not working.
So I think I remember you saying originally that Jack Black plays a 14-year-old girl really well to a scary
Jack
extent.
Black does a really good job of just like being a 14-year-old girl, because Jack Black's not in a lot of things. He's in more things than you think he is, but he's not really that good in many of them. This is a really good role, because everything that he does is a funny thing, because you know it's a 14-year-old girl, and he plays to that really, really well.
You got goosebumps this
God,
second one, so there you go, you can see him in that as well.
He's in his own franchise, because I don't think they'll do another one.
What, another Goosebumps?
No, the Jumanji.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it works as a standalone.
Yeah, maybe 10,
maybe
20
in 10
years.
Yeah, like reboot it with like new people again, because there's no reason to use the same characters.
Yeah.
The interaction with the characters that are like actual in the game, there's
NPCs.
And he's only got stock answers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really interesting because like he introduces everybody to everyone. He's like, Dr. So-and-so, you're really skilled at all of this lot and stuff. They carry on driving for a bit, and they're like, yeah, but where are we? He's like, Dr. Foster, you're really good at it. It's like, because that's the only response he's got. And so they're like, right, okay, he's not a real person. He's just like a
NPC, non-playable character.
Yeah. And they're like,
that's really clever.
It's been really fun.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a nice little nod, because he has only got like 3 lines.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a famous. He's popped up in lots of other things.
Okay.
I can't remember who he is, but he has popped up in other things. I was like, no, it's nice to see him in things. He's just got 3 lines, but he says them all the time.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that's the one that I would recommend.
Okay. We've done pretty well.
We've done alright. So,
but finally, to end on, we need to do those 3 categories that we've just done.
Yep.
Our thoughts for this year.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you think is going to be your top film of 2018? Obviously, can change because it could be the worst film of 2018.
It might end up being a really bad film. Yeah. For me, I'm most looking forward to Infinity War.
What's that?
Are you playing the character that I played earlier?
Yes.
Okay. Dick move.
Okay. The film I think is going to be my top one of 2018 is one that I've already seen,
Yes.
which is 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
I've heard that's amazing.
Um,
I'm looking forward to the home release of that. So so I can watch it.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to get better
As
than
good as
that.
that. Fair enough. That's a shame that it's peaked.
I could go into it because obviously I've seen it, but
Yeah,
I won't.
Different time. Next year.
Yeah.
The most shocking film. What do you think it's going to be?
The Han Solo film, because I think it looks bad, but I reckon I'm
think
going
it's
to
gonna
come
be
out
good.
of it thinking that was not that bad.
Okay.
I'm in two minds about whether or not I think this is going to be a good film. I think visually it looks quite good, but the visuals were already sorted. I think the film's been in development nightmare.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the same for me.
Well, alright then. So, we're both going to say the Han Solo movie going forward is probably going to be the one that
We might have the most fun with.
Potentially. I mean, I guess another trailer would have to drop for us to know that.
Yeah, that's true. But
We've
we've both got a lot that we can talk about the Han Solo movie and Star Wars.
We could
in
talk
general.
about all of it at length.
So we'll try and save that for another time.
One, yeah, that's fine.
So next up is, what do you think is going to be your least favourite movie of 2018?
My least favourite movie?
Yes.
My least favourite movie we've already seen.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That'll be Black Panther.
It was Black
It's the
Panther.
only thing we've seen.
Black Panther is the only film that we've seen
Yeah.
since we came out from Japan. Apparently,
Yes.
you went to Japan for a bit.
I did. That film had subtitles as well. I was
yeah.
really pleased about that.
No, that film for me was just beyond average. It's beat for beat a Phase 1 Marvel solo effort, and it's released I think it's like the second best, most successful Marvel film. I'm guessing after Avengers.
No, it's the first.
Is it only in America though? Because I heard something on the radio that says it's the second most.
Oh yeah, domestically for America.
I think so.
Might be.
But like everyone loves it, and I can understand why they love it, because having a black character and like 99% of the cast is black. Like it's,
I think with the exception of
the two I can think of.
yeah, Martin Freeman and
Andy
The
Serkis.
circus.
I really thought that I didn't care about it anyway.
Mhm.
I liked him in Civil War.
Yeah.
Because there was enough to kind of go on. And then the trailer came out, and I was like, okay, that kind of looks like that might be quite good. But then I saw the trailer so many times that it just reached saturation point where I was like, I now don't care about this. We went into the cinema, and it is just beat for beat a Phase 1 film, and I don't want a Phase 1 film before we're going to get the climax of this entire cinematic run. For me, it's just an average film, but the reason it's so popular is not because it's a Marvel film, it's because it's got such an ensemble cast that I guess a lot of people will say hasn't really been done.
that and
Most people just go, oh, well, the last black superhero we had was Blade, and that was, like the 90s?
yeah,
So the fact that, there is something else there for people...
something for the
Then...
modern youth.
Yes.
Yeah. And the then youth, because Blade was not a youth film.
No, Blade was not a youth film at all. I think it's a film that's not for me.
Maybe rewatching it in a couple of years, you might find a new appreciation for it. But
Maybe.
I completely understand
Yeah,
your.
I found the
feelings for it now.
soundtrack off-putting, and mostly because there just wasn't really one.
A lot of drums, you
It's
said. I remember you
A
saying.
lot of drums, and the first thing I said when that film finished was, "Gee, that was a long film."
Yes, it was. It was long.
I felt most of that film. There was a lot of back and forth. The amount of times people got given and then taken away the power of the Black Panther through the flower that they eat or drink, whatever it is. It's like, I don't care. The villain is good. They've started to hit on pretty decent villains, and no spoilers, but the way that fight ends was one of my favourite parts of that film. It's such a kind of touching way for it to happen. Nothing will ever take away the enjoyment of having Andy Serkis in a South African accent singing "What Is Love," because that was really good. Would love to see him in more things.
As a person,
Andy Serkis is a great actor. Let's just hope he doesn't get killed off in every film series he's in.
he's hoping.
Spoiler alert for Star Wars.
Oh.
That's true.
Also, he was Goose in Top Gun, wasn't he?
I don't think so. Okay then.
Turns
So
out he's
Black
actually
Panther.
Sean Bean as well. He's just as mocap Sean Bean in every film that he's in.
That's more believable than him being Goose.
Goose. Is it Goose that dies?
I've not seen Top Gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
I'm
I need
pretty
to because
sure
there's a
it is.
sequel coming out.
Oh god, there is, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah, it's
But I don't think that's...
Green Lantern.
Yes. But I also don't think that's this year, so...
Oh, we can't talk about it.
We can't talk about
Because
it.
we're stuck in a loop that we've created for ourselves.
Yes, in 2018.
2018. Okay, so what's your massive disappointment? That has or has not happened yet.
I think for me, it's going to be the Venom movie.
Oh, okay.
I understand that we've only had the one trailer,
Yeah.
but Sony's last couple of outings in the Spider-Verse haven't been that great. Tom Hardy's a fantastic actor, but I don't think he can save the Spider-Verse on his own. There's not been a lot on it. There was obviously a lot originally, with lots of things toing and froing. Oh, it's going to be in the Marvel Universe. It's not going to be in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's not. Oh, this is one script. Oh, we'll take that back. And you're this indecisive about it already. That's not good. I'm a big Venom fan.
You are, and I think that's probably what's the issue here.
Yeah.
Is that I think you're going to go in. This is the film they've made for me, a Venom fan.
Yeah.
And what you've got to go in is go, this is a film they've made because a committee has decided to. Like, I don't think the trailer. Like, I know fuck all about Venom, other than what I've seen in the films.
That's upsetting.
Or film, I guess. He's only really in one.
Yes, he
And
is.
then there's like loose bits that I don't know, what is he like? What's the one where he's like a colonel or something?
The Colonel, the most recent one,
He's like
with
Colonel
Flash Thompson.
Venom or something.
Agent Venom.
Agent Venom, that's it, not Colonel. The Colonel is obviously KFC.
Yes.
But the thing is, the fans of Venom are probably going to go into this exactly the same as you are.
Yeah, I think...
For the casual fan like me, I'll go into it and go, that wasn't too bad. And then you're going to be like, this was awful.
I mean, I might do. On the other hand, there's always the possibility of going in and having the Power Rangers experience.
True.
So I thought that was going to be the worst film ever made, and I've seen Dragon Ball Evolution.
We were both in Fan Four Stick.
Yeah, but...
You kind of liked
I
that.
kind of liked it.
And I liked Justice League.
Yes.
And that's why we're friends.
So, yeah. I'll wait for the second trailer,
Yeah.
and then I'll give an update on my thoughts on it.
The thing is, though, the trailer is so generic.
Yes, it is.
Like, is there like a brief bit of the symbiote in it?
In the same way that we got a brief bit of the symbiote in Amazing Spider-Man 2, in that you see something in a little flask.
The little, yeah.
That's all you see is on like the back of a truck.
Because it does just look like it's almost like he's a soldier and he's going through like extreme PTSD.
Which I hope they don't do. I really want them to keep the two characters separate, because
Yeah.
Eddie Brock is a completely different being to Flash Thompson. They're complete. Eddie Brock hated Peter Parker. Flash Thompson loved Peter Parker, which is where it was such a great dynamic between the two hosts.
So yeah, I think the Venom film will probably be okay as a non-fan. I'll go into it and be like, that was perfectly serviceable, and I genuinely think you are going to be disappointed with it. I don't think it's going to... There's no redemption for it.
I'll try to be happy.
It's the same people making these films.
But
so,
yeah.
So okay, so it's going to be Venom for you, which is odd really, because those are still superhero films, and they're at extreme ends of the year, because we've already had mine, and yours is basically at the end of the year.
But yes.
Yeah, so that's our comprehensive list of 2017, and that's what I think of trailers.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be more trailers next week. We have slightly
Indeed.
longer though, obviously, don't we? Because it's a Friday, so next time we'll record it, it'll actually be on the Sunday. Hopefully, anyway. So we might have that more time.
No, next week is also going to be early because I'm away the weekend.
Oh yeah, so it'll be midweek.
Midweek again.
To be fair though, let's just do Ready Player One.
Yes.
That's probably just going to be a nice easy one. Of course, we're open to suggestions of the 13 people that are actually listening to this for some reason.
Hello.
Hi. Just give us things that you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Or recommend things for us to stop talking about. If you really like Red Dwarf,
Stop
we can
talking.
do that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like totally open to suggestions.
Talk more about Red Dwarf.
Listen down to me.
Right.
They keep mentioning this Barnaby person. I just don't know who it is.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
That's going to be fun. That's like bonus content for you guys.
Yeah.
You
Looking forward to
probably
that.
won't like it, but it was so much fun.
Well, we have fun. And we hope you have fun.
Yes, I hope you had fun too. Chris, say your classic sign-off.
I'm really, really hanging. I feel so bad.
Chris is really hanging, which is odd, really, because tomorrow night we're going to a house party.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be interesting for you.
And
not for me, because
going
I'm not going to buy any alcohol.
And WrestleMania's this weekend, which you don't care about, but
No.
I love. Maybe I'll talk about that in the podcast.
Maybe you'll talk about, if you're going to be like, we're going to talk about Ready Player One this
We can talk
week.
about The Rock for 2 podcasts
I mean,
consecutively.
we can always talk about The Rock.
Did we talk about it in the first one? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Anyway, for now.
Yes. Oh, crap, Twitter.
Yep.
Shit.
So, you can reach me at Hosagi, Hosagi. You can follow us on Twitter at FolkingAround.
Yeah, you can. You can follow me at Benjamin Falcon 1. Again, that's just Benjamin, and then FAULKN 1, because I don't care what my Twitter handle is.
You can listen to this podcast on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/folking-around. You can find us on YouTube, Folking Around.
Yeah, it does.
And we are also now on iTunes.
Yeah,
as well.
we are. We're on iTunes.
Look at
Download us on iTunes. Leave a review.
Yes.
Don't leave a bad one. Actually, do, because to be fair, we need to know where we're
So,
shit at.
wherever you are listening to this on, like, share, comment,
Yep,
subscribe, all the
subscribe.
usual stuff.
Even if it's just to tell us how bad we are.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, we had that one comment
social
telling us to
interaction.
folk off.
Yeah, which to be fair was brilliant.
Yeah.
I should have seen that coming, really, shouldn't
Yeah.
we?
And speaking of
Folking off.
yeah,
This is Ben Folking off.
and this is Chris folking off.
Bye.